Learn the top 3 best practices that you need to know when you work with Power BI. This week on Data Exposed. Hi, I'm Anna Hoffman, and welcome to this episode of Data Exposed. Today, I'm joined by 2 very special guests from the Power BI team and Guy in a Cube. Can you tell us, who are you guys?
I'm Adam.
I'm Patrick.
And we're Guy in a Cube, and we're also on the Power BI product team.
Yeah.
Awesome, cool. And it's exciting to have you on the show. I don't think you've ever been on Data Exposed
This is our
before.
first time.
So we're really excited. Today we're going to be talking about the top 3 best practices that people probably working on databases should know about Power BI.
Absolutely.
And so why did you pick these things?
So these are things, we work with the world's largest customers. If there's a brand, I'd give you a brand name, you would know who they are. We work with them. And these are the 3 things that we go over with them over and over again, right? Like it's like a broken record. Like these are the things that people just don't understand, and we have to educate them on how to use this. Typically, this is for working with large-scale data.
Okay.
But I would encourage everyone to become familiar with these things as you're working with smaller data. As you're getting ready for the next stage in your career, you're just setting yourself up for success by doing this.
Also, it helps future-proof your models.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
so if you start adapting and using these best practices as your model grows,
Yes.
right, it protects you against all these unforeseen performance problems.
Because we know how it starts, right? You got this little Excel file that's under your desk.
Yeah.
You want to create this amazing thing, and then you publish it out there. Everyone loves it, and now they want to, productize this, and now this is going out to everyone, and then you're like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And so this will help you take care of that.
Yep.
Cool, awesome. Okay, so let's get into them. What's the first one?
All right, so Patrick, let's talk about query folding, Power Query. This is where the magic starts.
Adam likes to call this query squishing.
Query squishing.
So let's head over to your laptop.
All right.
And so in the query editor. So right here in the query editor, this is where what Adam and I like to say, massage your data, get intimate with your data. And a lot of people, especially analysts, when they get access to data, they need to clean it up. They need to make the data pristine before they do it. And if you take a look here, we have multiple steps that Adam and I have applied. And at the very last step, if you right click on that very last step, you'll see this button, View Native Query.
It's grayed out.
It's grayed out. Now, that's an indication that query folding may not be happening. And so, Adam, what is query folding? Explain
query folding, I like to call it query squishing, right? Mm-hmm. So this is where we want to go to the data source with everything one time and push it all upstream as far as possible, right? And so this idea is the steps and transformations that you take, bake it into that T-SQL statement that's going to go back to your source to be the most efficient.
Yeah. And so just because that button's disabled doesn't mean query folding. Query folding is not happening.
Okay.
That's just an indication that it may not be happening. And in this case, what I would do is I would use a tool like maybe SQL Profiler or Azure Data Studio with the Profiler plugin, and I would actually see what's going on the back end just to verify whether or not query folding is happening. Yep. And so we intentionally did this. Adam and I intentionally added this step. Now, Adam, let's remove that step.
All right.
And let's add a step where we bring query folding back in.
Right. So I'm going to go to the little format selector, and I'm going to come down and choose date.
Yep. And
now you can see that it says change type. And in this case, this one will actually fold that transformation back to the source.
So show us how you know.
Oh, yeah. And then if I right click on that and go, now view native query is enabled, and I can actually see the T-SQL statement that's being sent back now.
And so all those transformations.
And we'll see convert date.
And so all those steps that we did there, we extracted some data, we filtered some rows, we did some calculations, it's all baked into that T-SQL statement. And so when we do a refresh of our data using Power BI, it sends a single SQL statement back to the source and brings that data.
So Power BI doesn't do the work.
Okay.
SQL's doing the work.
Do I have to copy this query and change the source?
Nope.
No, it just takes care of
does
all
it
that
automatically.
for me. Oh, that's
Every
pretty
time
cool.
you refresh, it's going to go through all those steps and just send that one query.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
It's bananas.
Okay. So this is one of the big things. We
This
should
is it.
make sure that this is happening.
Make sure that query folding is happening.
And so what we say as a best practice, try to get all steps that fold back at the top. Because there's some steps, there's some things that you can do in Power Query that they just won't fold back. And it's because we can't convert that transformation into whatever the SQL is on the back end. And so then the mashup engine in Power BI has to perform that step. So try to put all your folding steps first, and then anything that the mashup engine has to do or anything that doesn't fold back, put those after all those happen.
Awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. Okay.
All right.
I can use that.
So moving on. So we've transformed our data,
Yeah.
right? We got it nice and it's feeling good right now.
Feeling good.
So we got it into the model.
Yep.
So now we've got our data model or a data set in Power BI. You can interchange those two.
Yeah.
And so in this case, what Power BI really likes is what's referred to as a star schema.
You've heard of a star schema.
Right.
Yep.
So if you're familiar with data warehousing, this should be familiar to you. It's been around for a long time. And so Patrick, talk to us a little bit about what's going on here.
So the first of all, Adam, I don't like this model. It's not really a star schema.
It's a star schema.
I'm just gonna say it's
Okay.
not a star schema.
And we know SQL folks out there, data folks, right? You like 29th normal form.
Yes. Yes.
But when we're doing a star schema, right, we want a fact in the middle and we want our dimensions on the side like a star, right? So we're not going to normalize it to the nth degree, right? You can, in this case, this is what's referred to as a snowflake model.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's fine, but we want to try and keep it as simple as possible. That's the goal.
So what I would do is, you see that product, that subcategory, and that product category table, I would flatten those out. I would denormalize those into a single table. Because, I mean, even if you look at the subcategory and the product category, there's single, maybe dual attribute tables. There's not many attributes there. So it's really unnecessary to have those tables when I can flatten those out into the product table and denormalize it. So I go down to the second or third normal
And
form.
then just have our hierarchy right there.
Yeah, and also as a best practice, in your fact table, one thing that we highly recommend is keep that table as narrow as possible. And when I talk about narrow, I'm not talking about the number of columns, I'm talking about the column data type. So try to avoid putting strings and GUIDs and doubles and floats. Try to be really precise, like integers and fixed decimal types and just dates. If you have a date and time, split that out in the two columns.
I worked with a customer, very largest data set I've ever seen in production. Their fact table was 12 columns. They were all integers.
Okay.
Yeah, how many rows?
Super clean.
How many rows?
We were talking trillions.
Oh, wow.
Import it. Take all that data and cache it.
That wasn't imported. It was
wasn't
using
imported.
a layered approach.
but-
yeah.
Still.
Yeah, but it was super clean and it's fast.
Yeah.
So
Okay. That's good to know.
Keep it
Didn't
clean,
know that.
keep it simple.
Keep it
That's
clean,
the name
keep
of the
it
game.
simple. Yeah.
All right. So we've got our data right. There are times where we want to get to the visualization part. It's Power BI, right? This is where the fun part is, right? We can slice and dice. We can make cool visuals. Please don't judge me on the way these visuals look. But one thing we've seen with people, and you're going to laugh, you're going to be like, no way, this has not happened. This absolutely happened recently. I'm going to go to my blazing fast report, and you'll see that things are it's kind of sluggish. It wasn't like fast.
Sure.
And so you sit here and go like, oh, it's not performant. Well, how many visuals are on here? And one thing I notice here is there's a scroll bar, and it just keeps going. Oh.
Because all these are loading up.
Yeah, right? And so, and if we go to fit to page, we scroll, right? We can change the canvas size. And so we've seen people do this when they're coming over from older operational reports. So when we think of reporting services, the old paginated type reports, Power BI is the cool thing. Yeah.
Old paginated? I'm a little offended by
Paginated is
that.
the new thing, right? It's old but new.
I'm a little offended by
Right?
that.
And so they want to take that report because the business wants that report, right? Because the business knows what they want. You got to have a conversation with them, though.
Please talk to the business.
And so what do they actually need? What are they looking at on this report?
Right.
And it's probably 3 things.
Yeah.
So do we need all of it? Right? And so the problem here is you're going to have 2 performance problems with this. One is going to be the data part because you're hammering the data model with a ton of queries. Each visual has 1 or more queries going back to the back end. But the other thing is these items run in not all at the same time. So think of it like a train, right? So there's cars, and so they're batched. And so we got to wait for the next one ahead of us before we can even start. And so it starts backlogging at that point. So we got to be smart about how we approach the actual report. Power BI reports are meant to be interactive and slicing and dicing, not these long printed pages. Paginated reports are still there in Power BI to do that. So think about that when we're working with visuals. So we've got Power Query for query folding, getting our queries right. We've got our data model, keeping that lean and mean, right? So that's fast. And then our visuals, we got to be smart about that and not load up too many visuals and be smart about the visuals that we're actually using.
Got it. I mean, these are 3 things that I feel like I can actually do.
Yeah.
Like, these aren't like hugely complicated things.
And we talk about this all the time with customers. This is like, we get paid to do this over and over again. If you become experts at this, you too could work at Microsoft.
And you wouldn't believe the people we talk to about this, because you think, I thought you knew this, you know.
Awesome.
You should know this.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks guys for coming on
yeah.
Data Exposed. We really appreciate it. Any final tips or tricks or plugs you guys want to make?
Just be nice to your data.
Yeah.
I feel, and then make, Power BI is going to continue to have some just awesome improvements every year. It's like Christmas every month, right? So we get new things all the time. It's always a gift. So I appreciate everyone using Power BI.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thanks again so much for coming on the show. To our viewers, thanks for tuning in. We'll put some links in the description if you want to learn more. If you like this episode, go ahead, give us a like, leave us a comment, and let us know what you think of these 3 tips. And we hope to see you next time on Data Exposed.